Welcome back to Tabletop Titans and another Titan Tactics. Games Workshop has just released an update to the Agents of the Imperium, that is to say the Inquisitors, the Assassins, the Navy Officers, the Rogue Traders, all together in one single PDF. But the question is, what has actually changed from where they were before? We've done all the research, so you don't have to. Let's dive on in and take a look. Of course, if you do enjoy this content, do consider liking and subscribing, hitting that button down below. It greatly helps us support the channel. So first of all, let's talk about the problems with the Agents of the Imperium before this update. The main one is they literally could not be used in Arks of Omen or boarding actions. Before, they specified exactly which detachments this could be done with, and it did not include any Arks of Omen detachments or the boarding patrols. So that was something we're definitely looking towards. Another issue, of course, was the fact that the rules were scattered between 3 different sources, 2 of the different supplements, as well as a White Dwarf itself. So these were all over the place, and a lot of people were just having to print out actual photos of the assassin rules to bring to their games. Last of all, they did have a number of warlord traits, relics, and stratagems, but it doesn't quite synergize particularly well with the current state of the game. So a lot of these kind of languished, and there were a lot of unknown questions about how they would actually work. Diving into this update, I'll be honest, there's not a ton of changes. By and large, things will remain the same for units. The way they work, the way they interact, it's going to be the same. This is not a major update to bring them into 9th edition. However, there are a number of patch fixes to make them work with Arks of Omen, with boarding patrols, and all that good stuff. So that is really the spirit behind this update, which is great. So first of all, of course, they are all conglomerated into a single PDF, which is fantastic. Does not include points. Those are going to be in your Munitorum field manual as before, so points have not changed. Additionally, of course, you can now include a single Agents of the Imperium unit in a Arks of Omen detachment or a boarding patrol, which is pretty exciting. Again, just kind of fixing the fact that they didn't work before, and I like that they're considering boarding actions, so you can actually include an Inquisitor as your character in those detachments, which sounds like a lot of fun. There's an interesting decision behind the warlord traits, relics, and stratagems. They're actually all gone. All 3 of these are not available anymore. Some of them have been rolled in. We'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. I think it's a bit of a bummer. Some of them were quite niche, but some others were actually quite interesting. So I would have liked to see a way to roll all of these into the actual data sheets. Importantly here, this also means that you cannot use the stratagem to swap out your assassin at the start of the game, which again, kind of a miss there. I think this was a cool ability that wasn't really that strong in competitive play anyway, so I don't see the harm. They could have just built this in. There are a couple changes to Assassins specifically. As we mentioned, the stratagems are gone, but the Vindicare Assassin, for one, has had the headshot stratagem just worked into the base profile, which is great. I think this is one of the ones that suffers the most in 9th edition. It's just not designed for this edition. So working in that stratagem is going to help bring them up to speed just a little bit. The Calexis Assassin also has been updated to now ignore demon saves. Kind of unexpected, but this is a nice change, and I totally approve of it. And look, that's literally it. There's not much to be said about it, but just know you can now run these Agents of the Imperium in a boarding patrols detachment or in a Arks of Omen detachment. It's not going to turn off any of your doctrines. That's really good to know. You can do a separate detachment fully of them, or you can play them as your main detachment. But again, you're not going to have many keywords in common, so it's not really a thing, but they do make that possible. They fixed a number of keywords, of course. They added some extra new rules. They pared down all the stratagems and warlord traits and everything, baking in some of them in there. And you are going to maintain all of your psychic powers. So overall, this really is just a patch fix, but despite the fact that there aren't many changes in here, I do want to thank Games Workshop for sending this out because it's something that the players needed. This Assassin's fix was one of the big things that was kind of just hanging out there in 9th edition, and it felt like it needed some attention and some love. So, you know, definitely good on them for including this in a free PDF update. I think it's great. So let us know in the comments below if you think you're going to be including an Assassin or Agents of the Imperium in your Arks of Omen detachments or boarding actions. Of course, if you did enjoy this content, hit that like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments below. That's going to be it for me. I'll catch you all next time on the tabletop. Bye!